Caregivers need support too. They need support of others. They need time for themselves to replenish and renew. They need to be honored and respected for the work that they are doing. It's not easy to be a caregiver of somebody who's going through a healing journey, and to watch and witness suffering. So for the caregivers, please take care of yourselves too. Please take time to be quiet, to feed your spirit, your soul, with whatever it could be, the beauty outside, the sounds of wind in the trees or in wind chimes. Caregivers need just as much attention as the patient, the person who's walking the healing journey. They might find it useful to make lists of things that need to be done every day. They might find it useful to make a list of all the people that he or she has to contact in case of any kind of need. Find out what the resources are, where the nearest emergency room is if needed. Find out resources that could help when you are very much in need of immediate action. For example, we learned from experience that we had to have an emergency bag packed with immediate supplies and a list of prescription medicines I had to have with me at all times. And that bag had to be fully packed and prepared so that if I needed it, I could be rushed to the hospital right away, to the ER, to wherever. We had to be prepared. And that goes not just from as a patient, as a healing journeyer, not just my things, but my caregiver, who's my husband. He had to be prepared. He had to have a bag ready with everything he needed. We found this out because after my second round of chemotherapy, I developed an extremely high fever. And we were going to drive 2 hours to the hospital where my oncologist works, and they called us back and said, no, you have to go to the ER right away. You can't wait. So we had to quickly find an ER. We were unprepared. And once we were there, we weren't sure whether I would have to be hospitalized or not. So all of these things, just figuring out logistics, helps a caregiver feel more in control of the situation, and helps the patient feel reassured that he or she is not burdening the caregiver too much. So being prepared for emergencies, being prepared for appointments, finding out what the next steps might be, and still taking time to feed the spirit, the soul, work on your own projects. The caregiver's life is very important. The caregiver needs to thrive in order to have strength to be a caregiver. And most of all, the gift that the caregiver gives is that of love. And that is simply beautiful. Thank you to all caregivers.